In Age of Empires 2, building a wonder means you've reached the pinnacle. It's a flex on your opponent, not just of the power of your eco, but on how sure you are of victory. But in real history, wonders weren't just victory conditions on a timer. They were intentional acts of fate, bold claims of identity, and sometimes political gambles wrapped in marble and myth. Some were built to unite crumbling empires, others to glorify the divine, and some, like the wooden pagoda with no nails or a spiral minaret rising from the Iraqi sands, were meant to last forever, even when everything else around them burned and broke. In this episode of Age of Histories, we go behind these wonders. We trace the architectural inspirations and historical realities behind 5 more iconic structures of our beautiful game. From a golden cathedral in Norman Sicily to a bronze Buddha cast following a Japanese plague. These are not just buildings, they are worldviews set in stone, wood and metal. Let's wallow. Imagine a wooden building so massive it held the largest bronze Buddha ever cast and used up nearly all of the bronze in 8th century Japan just to make it. Now imagine it was built not for religion, but to save an empire from collapse. The Daibutsutsen, or Great Buddha Hall, stands at the heart of Tadoji Temple in Nara, Japan. Commissioned by Emperor Shomu in the mid-8th century AD, construction began around 743 and took about 9 years to complete. It wasn't just a religious site, it was a spiritual shield. As Japan was still reeling from famine, earthquakes and a devastating smallpox epidemic, Shomu believed that uniting the people under Buddhism could restore harmony to the land and protect its people. And so he ordered the construction of a colossal statue of Vairocana Buddha, a universal cosmic Buddha, to embody this peace and manifest divine order. The building itself was an architectural marvel. The original hall was even larger than the one we see today, which itself is still the largest wooden building on Earth. Over 2.6 million people, more than half of Japan's population at the time, directly contributed in its construction, and the casting of the Daibutsutsen, over 15 meters tall and made from around 500 tons of bronze, nearly drained the empire's entire metal reserve. Over the centuries, fires and earthquakes have taken their toll on the structure, yet thanks to major reconstruction being carried out in the 12th and 17th centuries, the hall and the statue were always rebuilt, each time reaffirming Japan's connection to its spiritual roots. Today, the Daibutsutsen remains a symbol of Japanese resilience, not of just wood and bronze, but of belief and national unity. It's more than a temple, it's a living testament to the idea that in times of crisis, people can build something greater than themselves. And in this case, literally. The Khitan wonder takes us back nearly a millennium to discover a towering wooden masterpiece that has withstood centuries of storms, war and earthquakes, all without a single nail holding it together. This is the pagoda of Fogong Temple in modern-day China, a breathtaking testament to ancient engineering and timeless faith. Constructed in 1056 AD during the Liao dynasty, this colossal pagoda was commissioned by Emperor Daozhong to honor his grandmother and promote the imperial support of Buddhism. Located in Yingjian County of Shanxi Province, it stands as the centerpiece of the Fogong Temple and is often referred to as the Yingjiang Wooden Pagoda. This structure reflects the spiritual and political aims of the Khitan-led Liao Empire, a dynasty that is often overshadowed in Chinese history, but was key in its blending of steppe traditions with Chinese statecraft and Buddhism. Made entirely of wooden beams and brackets, without the use of a single iron nail, the pagoda rises 9 levels tall, 5 visible from the outside and 4 hidden within. Its precise mortise and tenon joinery and interlocking dugong brackets allow it to flex under seismic stress, which is one of the reasons why it has survived numerous earthquakes and wars over the centuries. It housed sacred Buddhist relics, massive statues of the Shakyamuni Buddha, and even imperial inscriptions that affirm its political and religious significance. The design embodies Han Chinese architectural traditions fused with Liao stylistic elements, showcasing a mastery of engineering rarely seen in the 11th century or even today. The pagoda at the Fogong Temple isn't just the oldest pagoda in China, it is the tallest surviving one in the world. It stands as a living wonder to a time when emperors wielded architecture as a tool of piety, propaganda, and permanence. In a world of crumbling stone and rusting steel, this wooden giant endures, balanced by faith, precision, and purpose. Standing proudly on the banks of the Tagus River in Lisbon, the Belém Tower is more than just a beautiful fortress. It's a symbol of Portugal's age of discovery, an era that reshaped the world forever. The Belém Tower was commissioned by King Manuel I of Portugal and constructed between 1514 and 1520. Its primary purpose was to defend Lisbon's harbour against naval attacks and to serve as a ceremonial gateway for explorers heading out into the unknown Atlantic. This period marked the height of Portuguese maritime power, when navigators like Vasco da Gama were pioneering sea trade routes to India and beyond. The tower was part fortress and part symbol of Portugal's imperial ambitions, embodying the spirit of exploration and conquest that defined the early 16th century. Built from local limestone known as lios, the tower features the distinctive Manueline architectural style, an ornate late Gothic style unique to Portugal and this time period, rich with maritime motifs like ropes and knots, crosses of the Order of Christ, and armillary spheres. Its design combines functional military architecture with lavish decorative elements, blending defense with celebration. Despite its relatively small size, the tower was strategically positioned to work with other similar fortifications along the river to effectively control access to the river. Today, the Belém Tower is a cherished national symbol of Portugal's golden age and stands as a reminder of the daring voyages that expanded global trade, cultural exchange, and inevitably colonization. More than just stone and mortar, it represents human curiosity, ambition, and a complicated legacy of exploration that still shapes our world to this day. Rising like a spiral from the desert plains of central Iraq, the Grand Minaret of Samarra is more than just an architectural marvel. It's a profound symbol of Abbasid authority and spiritual ambition. It doesn't just stand there, it proclaims something about power, order, and the connection between the earthly and the divine. Commissioned by the Abbasid Caliph al-Mutawakkil and constructed between 848 and 852 AD, the minaret was part of a much larger vision, the Great Mosque of Samarra, which, at the time, was the largest mosque in the Islamic world. But this wasn't just about religion, it was about creating a capital city in the new city of Samarra, which was built from scratch to rival and surpass Baghdad, which it barely managed to do for a short time. The minaret's unique spiral form, known as the malwiya, meaning the twisted one, wasn't merely decorative. It was deliberately monumental, yet practical. A place from which to issue the call to prayer, but also a visual demonstration of Islamic power stretching skyward. Its unusual shape may have been inspired by the ancient Mesopotamian ziggurats, layered temple from pre-Islamic civilizations of the region, suggesting a conscious link of the Islamic rule to earlier traditions and sacred kingship. Made entirely from baked bricks, it stands over 50 meters tall, with a spiraling ramp that wraps around the core like a cosmic staircase. It is not just architecture, it's ideology laid out in brick. Despite more than 1,000 years of neglect, political instability and war, including damage suffered during the recent wars against both believers and infidels, the Great Minaret of Samarra remains a symbol of Iraq's cultural and historical legacy. Its survival is a testament to the durability of its brick construction and the cultural reverence it commands as a symbol of Islamic heritage, and it reminds us that wonders are not just built, they are declared with intention, vision, and an enduring meaning. Perched above the Conca d'Oro Valley near Palermo, Italy, the Cathedral of Monreale isn't just a church, it's a political and cultural statement carved in stone, gold and light. A statement for unity, legitimacy and the audacious dream of fusing competing civilization under one crown. Commissioned by King William II of Sicily in 1174 during the height of Norman rule on the island, the cathedral was intended not merely as a house of worship, but as a bold declaration of divine right and royal power. The Normans, originally Vikings turned Latin Christians, had conquered a land layered with Arab, Eastern Roman, and Latin traditions, and in Monreale they didn't just erase that complexity, they put it on display for all to see. The cathedral's architecture is a synthesis of cultures: Norman fortifications, Roman mosaics, and Arab ornamentation. Inside, over 6,000 square meters of golden mosaics depict biblical scenes in an exquisite Eastern Roman style, crafted by Eastern Christian artisans. The cloister, with its 228 intricately carved columns, is pure Islamic geometry meets Romanesque rhythm. The building becomes a political theology in of itself, expressing a multicultural harmony that was rare in medieval Europe, and let's face it, we don't build like this even today. Unlike many medieval wonders that have suffered from iconoclasms and/or even wars, Monreale survived largely intact. Its preservation is largely due to its continued religious use, cultural importance, and the respect it commands from diverse communities over the centuries. Today, the Cathedral of Monreale stands not only as a masterpiece of 12th century architecture, but also as a symbol of what was briefly possible in Sicily, a kingdom where East and West, Islam and Christendom, power and piety coalesced, if not peacefully, then at least purposefully. And with these 5 civs, we have covered 15 of the 50 wonders we have in 2025. And I wonder, which one was your favorite? If you enjoyed this journey through the real-world inspirations behind the AoE2 wonders, give this video a like, it helps more than you think. And if you haven't already, subscribe to Age of Histories as we dive into the structures, leaders and events behind the game we all love. There's so much more to explore, but goodbye for now, and thank you for watching.